Hi, fourth graders. Today we are looking again at our comparative suffixes. Remember, the suffix is the ending that's put on another word. So the suffixes are and est, the er and the est. And a suffix is not a word on its own. There is no word that is or est. They only become part of words when they're added on to a base word. So we have some here on the poster. So we have the word calm. The wind is calmer today than it was yesterday. And when we put the on calm, we change it from calm to calmer. And when we put est on the end, it would change from calm to calmest. So we have talked a lot this week about these two different endings. And we have also talked about how if a word has a Y on the end, like pretty, you take the Y off, you replace it with an I before you use the or the est ending. And if the base word ends in an E, you don't want two E's in a row, so you take the E off the base word before you add the or the est ending. We've done a lot of work with that. So for today, we're going to do something a little different. You are still going to do a word sort with a different lot of words and figure out if it's an an est, an ear, or an est. So you are going to sort those as usual and turn those in. But I also have for you a passage to read, and it's called Birdmen Take to the Skies. And what I want you to do is read this page. And I want you to look for all of the words that have the est ending or an er ending. So I'm just going to read the first paragraph to you and talk through what words I can find. So it's called Birdmen Take to the Skies. What's the wildest thing you can imagine doing? Would you climb the world's highest mountain? Would you skydive, bungee jump, or fly off the end of a ski jump? People who try these kinds of extreme sports may be braver than the rest of us, or maybe just crazier. So I bet if you just took a minute right now and looked for words in that paragraph that ended with er, or est, or even ier or iest, that you would find some. Can you see some? Okay, good job. So after you've read all four paragraphs, then I would like you to go to the next slide and have a look at the table that is here. And I want you to find 5 of the er and est words that you've noticed in the passage. There's heaps more than that, but just choose 5. And I want you to enter them here in the table to turn into me. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So if I look back at the passage, I can see in the very first line that it says, what's the wildest thing you can imagine doing? So wildest is one of the words I can see in the passage. And it has the est ending. So over here under est, I'm going to write wildest because I found that word in the passage. Now I want to also enter what the base word is because we know that est on its own is not actually a word. So what is the base word if we take the est of wildest? Well, the base word is wild. Okay, so make sure you're putting in the base word as well in the table. So base word, the er ending if you find an er word, and the est. You don't need to fill this in unless the word wilder is in the passage. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can find another word. Okay, so there are lots of other words in here. I'm just going to pick out another one. I'm going to pick out from the last line of the first paragraph. It says braver. So I'm going to go back to my table on the last slide, and it's braver, which is our suffix. So I am going to come down in the column with and I am going to put in braver. Okay, now if that's braver has the suffix on the end, but what is just the base word? If we weren't comparing, what would the word be? Well, it would be brave. So I'm going to put the base word in. I don't have to put the word over here for est, bravest. unless I find the word bravest somewhere in the story. Okay, so then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for another word that has an ER or an EST or even IER or IEST. So let me see. Oh, here's a really big word on the last paragraph. Healthiest. So it's got the EST. So I'm going to put it in here. Healthiest. Okay. Now the base word for healthiest is healthy. Now, there's a trick here because I can see an I, which tells me that healthy, probably the base word ends in a Y. Because remember, we take the Y off and add an I for our est ending. Okay, I'm not going to keep going. You choose your own words. These are just examples for you. I'm going to leave wildest there as a reminder for you. But I want you to come and fill in this table with 5 words that you found in the passage with the or the est ending. And I want you to put the base word in there too. So this is what you are going to turn into me along with the word sort. Okay? Really show me that you can find those and those est words. You are really learning a lot about the comparative suffixes this week. Well done.